Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. I am your host, Naba. If you're new here, welcome. And can you do me a favor and please hit that subscribe button because I'm trying to get to 2K. I really want y'all to help me. Okay, so we're going to get into this topic, ladies. Are men and women the same? Are we compatible? Or do opposites attract? Do we? I don't think we do. I do not think that opposites attract, and I don't feel like men and women are compatible at all. These past few years, I have been doing my research. I have been studying. I have been looking at videos. And I have been looking at just stats on relationships. And like it's over 70% of women who are filing for divorce. That just brought me to the realization that opposites do not attract. I don't think that men and women are the same. And I do believe that we are opposites. And I feel like that's a big reason why women are just not wanting to be married to men. And I feel like that's why a lot of men just really hate women. If you notice, men really just do not like women. They don't like how we think. They don't want to hear us talk. It's just they really don't like anything about us except what's in between our legs. And women don't like anything about men except what's between their legs, even though they say that, most women don't even orgasm or experience orgasm when they're with men. Women still, that's like what they want. And women want money from men and they seem to want sex from men, even though they're not getting satisfied. But let's talk about this, y'all. In 2025, I want to explore this notion more. So let's get into what people have to say about the compatibility between women and men, and do opposites attract? Let's see what's going on, and I'll be right back.
Ladies, let me give you a little bit of game. Your attraction matters to your man. Women are what I call verbal creatures. Men are what I call visual creatures. Men are visual, women are verbal. Ladies, it is so important that you keep yourself beautified for your man. More and more men come into this office and tell me how they are no longer attracted to their lady. And listen, I get it. Inner beauty matters. Inner beauty is important, but your outer beauty matters too. In fact, I hear men saying when he started dating you, before he married you, how you looked a certain way. And so ladies, because men are visual, you gotta be sure that you do everything that you can to keep yourself looking good. The way you do your hair to his liking, the way that you dress to his liking, the way that you just present yourself to his liking, because men are visual creatures. Give him something beautiful to look at. Give him something beautiful to admire. You can't just walk around the house all day in a bonnet and sweatpants, right? You gotta be sure that you keep yourself visually appealing to your man. Peace.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to stop right here and tell y'all that it doesn't matter what you look like. You could look like Halle Berry, Beyonce. You're going to get cheated on. Men, they like beautiful women. Just like me as a woman, I appreciate a beautiful woman. I see women all the time and I'm like, wow, she's so pretty. But they don't care. Like, as long as you have a hole, they're going to want to hump you. So, and what men don't understand and that they don't care about is that once they get you pregnant, you don't have time to try to be beautiful for them. So stop trying to be beautiful for men and be beautiful for yourself. Because when you're beautiful for a man, what's going to happen is that if that man is just subpar, or even if he's handsome, when you're a beautiful woman and you're seen with a man, other women are just going to be like, wow, it must be something special about him. And I want him because he's with her and she's beautiful. So I want him too. Other women are just going to want your man if you think he's your man. So when you being beautiful is not helping you. It's just helping them get more women that look better than you or that look like you. So if you're going to be beautiful for yourself. Be beautiful for other women, because other women appreciate your beauty and they're not going to want to have sex with you. I've had women in like restaurants, mainly white women, restaurants. I was like at a restaurant, and then one time I was like at a floral like garden place, and it was white women who came up to me and told me how beautiful they thought I was, and I thought it was so weird, but I appreciated it. I liked it. But you being beautiful for a man is doesn't bring any value to you. It's just going to help him to cheat on you more, because when people see him with you, they're going to think he's important, or he's somebody, or that he has money. And he could be like nobody. He could be broke. He could be like the ugliest man in the world. But you being with him is just going to bring him value, because you are the prize. Men use women, beautiful women, as the prize. They always have and always will.
Live in this society where they're trying to push these egalitarian narratives that men and women are equal. In order to understand men and women and to understand relationships, you have to understand the differences between men and women down to the neurophysiology of the brain. We have different neurophenomenological processes that we exhibit as men and as women. These differences create the behavioral differences that you see between men and women. So to act like men and women are the same when we don't have the same amount of testosterone, we don't perceive the world the same, we don't love the same, we don't express ourselves the same, we don't react to the same stimuli the same. These are the realities between men and women that have to be acknowledged and they have to be accepted. We can't continue to act like men can be women, women can be men. We're two separate sexes for a reason.
Men and women are not the same. We're completely different in terms of how we communicate. We know from science that men have much more testosterone and a lot less oxytocin. These very important hormones control and influence how we communicate. And this mistake that we're making in our culture, saying that we're the same, is causing miscommunication. A woman expects a man to react the same as she would. A man expects a woman to speak facts instead of emotion. And he is not attuned and will not attune himself to listen to those emotions. Equally, a woman gets very bitterly disappointed when she is not heard and understood. These very basic communication problems caused by the cultural influence is causing us to have relationships that are failing in the 60% plus range. We need to understand that in these differences, we can find commonality. In these differences, we can find ways to communicate with each other that make clear sense to each other. When a woman now comes to a man, generally, she's now stressed out, she's overworked, she's overworried, and she comes to him with some problem that she can see inside their life together, in their kingdom together. And when she presents that problem, all he hears is, you always or you never. And her coming in that mode makes him shut down and close off. Or he's just having a bad day. And as a man, men go inside to de-stress. Women talk to de-stress. So if he's had a bad day, he's got to go inside himself to sort that shit out. Now when she comes to him, he's already shut down. He's already not listening. He just wants peace and quiet to sort his own problems out. And now she's got more. And so he shuts down on her. And not understanding how we react like this as men and women. Now, on top of that, obviously, there are personality traits that get in the way of communication between men and women. And those personality traits come from events that have happened to us. They come from role models that we've had in life. And we need to understand how to get over those as well. And that's what we do in our events. We help people shift past the conditioning that they've been through that stops love from either being let in or giving it out. And that is a major impact in relationships. Absolutely. So there are two factors. There's the cultural influence and there's the personal influence. And both of those need to be addressed to have a successful, lifelong relationship with someone else. And understanding how to do that, we've spent the past 25 years understanding how to help couples and singles find their way to true and lasting love. And I get a lot of people have been through relationships or they've had experiences where they've been disappointed or hurt. And now they're like, I don't want it anymore. That's a great shame, because now you're letting fear of pain stop you from having a beautiful relationship. And I was like that myself, but I overcame that and found a way to break through.
So, ladies, I'm going to tell you right here that men are always going to try to find a way to break through or overcome the circumstances or situations that you're going through with them. It's because they literally need you to survive, because women have been socialized to take care of them like children and to keep them alive. Studies show that when men are single, they get sicker, they are not healthy, they get inflammation, and they are in physical pain. So men will always try to find ways to stay in relationships and not change, whereas women will always try to fix everything while they're in the relationship and realize that it's not going to change and try to go. And this makes it more dangerous for women, because women are the source that men draw from in these relationships. So women are being unalived and taken out at high rates when they try to leave relationships with men that depend on them. So this is not a good idea for women to keep believing that these things can be fixed, because they cannot. They can't.
So you and your ex broke up because y'all are not compatible? Bullcrap. And look, I know there's relationship experts everywhere, but let me tell y'all the truth about compatibility in relationships. So every time a relationship fails these days, people are like, oh, we just wasn't compatible. Like, let me go take another Enneagram test so the next time we can get it right. Is compatibility important? Yeah, somewhat, but it's not an end-all be-all to all relationships. See, most people think to be in a healthy, long-lasting marriage or relationship that they have to be compatible. But the problem with that is, as soon as a rocky patch comes, they throw their hands up and they say, well, I knew we wasn't compatible. And then they hit the streets, find someone else, and then they repeat the cycle. The reasons why most relationships don't work is because people can be terrible and they can be very selfish. People, they just don't want to work at it. And I'm sorry, but a compatible relationship isn't going to fix that. Compatibility isn't the problem. We are. So what's the solution? To be selfless. Compatibility, all it says is that I'm all about finding someone that fits me. But when you're selfless, that puts someone else's needs before your own, and that's how you make it work. Fact.
So this man said that the solution is to be selfless. So a lot of the time, women are very selfless, and that gets women nowhere. That gets them ran over by men, that gets them cheated on, that gets them just left at home doing all of the heavy load. That gets women a lot of stuff. And I have to admit, women allow most of this stuff. But I took notes. Most men are going to feel like him because they need women. And they feel like no matter what they do, you should stay with them. Men consider things like maybe having a baby or putting paws on you as a rocky patch. Women consider like him losing his job or him getting sick, as a rocky patch. Those are not like that. Things like that are not the same. This is like one of the ways where I don't think we're compatible. And yeah, he said people can be very selfish, and I agree. I really agree. But most of the time in these marriages, men are really selfish because men have been taught and molded to think that when you get married, the wife is for you. The wife is to do all of the stuff that you don't want to do, and you get to continue to be who you are. You go to work and you rest, and she does all the other stuff, and you get to continue to be what you want to be. Which I feel like that's not wrong. I feel like they should be able to do what they want to do and be who they want to be. But I feel like women should be able to do that also. But the structure, the patriarchy that we are in does not allow for women to get to do the same things. So it is not equal. So women end up being selfless and men get to be more selfish. I don't know. They think things like not letting them cheat on you is you being selfish. Like I'm dead serious, because you can get online and just see a lot of men telling you that we are not supposed to just be with you. So they feel this way, but they will still marry you, and knowing that you expect them to be with just you, and they will cheat on you. So instead of just not marrying you and just doing what they want to do, they'll still marry you, like, because that's what you wanted. And that's why I tell women to stop forcing these men to marry you, and stop wanting them to marry you, because that's how they feel. So I was so glad to see that the women in the comments were like, no, sir, we are not going. We have done this before. But as always, the men's comments showed that they were just mirroring what the women were saying in the comments, because we know that they are mostly the reason why these relationships fall apart. We already know that. Stats are already proving that, but they had to put their input in. So I'm going to show you some of the women's comments, and then I'll show you the men's comments that kind of mirrored what the women were saying, because they want to make it seem like the women were the issue in their relationships. I'll be right back.
People that tell you opposites attract, they lying to you. Why would somebody completely different than you be attracted to you? They might like a couple or a few things that you like, but if the way they act is completely different than yours, that shit ain't gonna last long. So get you somebody with a similar personality as you, unless you're really not trying to date them and you're just trying to hit.
American men, we keep trying to change the terminology to make American women feel, we use submissive. Yeah, I don't like that.
You say you want a woman to be submissive. Like, I'm never going to be submissive to a man. I'm never going to be submissive to a man.
Now we try to say, okay, let's go with cooperative.
What was your problem with the word cooperate?
It's like you telling me what to do. Like, I have to cooperate. I have to listen to you. It was never given that.
Can we get the textbook definition of the word cooperate?
It says involving mutual assistance and working towards a common goal.
So we can't cooperate together and make...
No.
I've been betrayed by women my whole life, but it's impossible for me to hate them because it's only in the aspect of the role of a girlfriend, somebody you sleeping with. Those are the only roles they played that it didn't work out. Even if a motherfucker just a friend with benefits, y'all just fucking around, I never got betrayed by those women. See what I'm saying? It's plenty of women who I know for a fact could have treated me right. Maybe I wasn't interested and it would have prevented me from treating them right, so I just left it alone. But because I know how it feels when somebody care, I know how I feel when somebody don't. It don't matter how much I like somebody. If they don't care about me for real, I can't do nothing with them. And that's why, even though I thought I was going to marry the last girl I was with, soon as another man called her phone, it's like somebody flipped the switch. I lost interest immediately, and I was gone that same week. But that's the point that I'm at right now, where it's like, I don't believe everybody the same, but I'm 33. I don't have no more time to waste. I need to build myself now instead of trying to build with strangers who really just...
When a guy says that you guys are not compatible, there's no compatibility, what he is really telling you, this is honest, what he's really telling you is that I just don't have enough attraction to you to make the sacrifices. Now, a lot of you might think I'm talking out of my rear end and I'm just saying things to say it, but how do I know this? Two reasons why. Number one, okay, a lot of you come to me over guys who want nothing to do with you, and you're still willing to give him 15 chances.
Listen, this is a man who is telling women the truth. A lot of men tell women the truth, and women don't want to listen to them. Listen to this man, and y'all could learn something.
Off and all these other things, even though he wants nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you, yet you still give him all these chances. And the other reason I know this for a fact is I've been doing this for 10 years and I have seen it. I have seen a guy look at one girl and say no and give her the reasons, and then look at another girl who has those reasons why he wouldn't commit, but commits to her anyway. It's just a lack of attraction, lady.
So the part that was true is women give men chance after chance after chance when these men want nothing to do with you outside of sex or whatever you're giving them. But the lack of attraction thing, I don't agree with, because men will sleep with women that they are not attracted to. They do it all the time. They tell us that they do it all the time. They will sleep with a car. They will sleep with a lizard. They will sleep with a 9-month-old baby. They will sleep with their mother. They will sleep with their grandmother. They will sleep with comatose women. They will sleep with women that aren't alive. They will sleep with dolphins. If y'all don't believe me, I did a video on this. Y'all can go back and find that video. It's just, I think I named it pedophilia, and I forgot the title of it, but it's about pedophilia. They will sleep with almost anything. So he was partly telling the truth, but yeah, it's not about attraction for men, because as long as it's like a hole there, they will like sleep with it or poke it. So don't, you can, when men are speaking, you can like believe half or like maybe even 45% of what they're saying. Don't take everything they're saying as the truth. Just know that they're going to mix in a whole bunch of lies with some of the truth.
Biggest misnomer in the world. People think that opposites attract. Listen, that is not true.
I agree.
It is not true. I'm going to tell you why. Do you hang around people who think the exact opposite of you?
No, I would get on their nerves.
No, you know what? What we misconstrue is personality types.
Yeah.
Because my wife is more subdued than me.
Yeah.
They think we're different, but our personality is different, but our core values are the same. They're the same. We believe in family. We believe in creating, but not overspending. We believe in letting the other person be. We have more alike than that are different.
Yeah.
We misconstrue when your personalities are different, but it's the core values that make you. If your core values are in alignment and they're similar, then you can walk together. If our why to be together, to stay together is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant. We'll figure out the how. We'll get somebody to help us. And then what I tell people is you have to establish what your core values are. So because this is the biggest misnomer.
Those core values are huge.
So from what I'm seeing lately is that men and women don't usually have the same core values. Men value their alone time and their freedom and their ability to do whatever they want to do. Whether they're married, whether they're single, they value their freedom. And women, once they get into a marriage or a relationship, they want to be tied down to a man, and they want to serve a man, and they want him to only belong to them, and he cannot be out there doing what he wants to do and cheating, and they want him to be committed, and they want him to communicate. They want him to spend time with the kids and her. They want him to help around the house and plan their funerals together and their vacations together and their retirement. Women want participation from men. That's their core values. They want the man to care about all of the things that they care about. And the men don't care if the women care about all of the things that he cares about, because he's going to do them regardless. If he was working out in the gym before you, he's going to keep doing that. If he was having sex 3 to 4 times a week, he's going to keep doing that, whether or not you're involved or not. If he wants to do whatever, he's going to keep doing that. But women, once they get into relationships, it's like, okay, I have kids now. I have to settle down. I have to focus on my kids. I have to focus on doing my 60 hours at work. I have to get home and do all of this cleaning and cooking. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that men and women's core values are totally different. Men some of them might actually go take care of the car and the vehicle stuff and the stuff around the house that needs to be fixed. But a lot of them are not even doing that. Like, if y'all have enough money, a lot of them will like hire somebody to do it, or you have to hire somebody to do it. But women get into these relationships thinking, okay, I got a man. Like, I don't have to call nobody to fix anything. My man can do it. But most of the time these days, a lot of the men don't know how to do that. But I don't know. They're saying that a lot of women don't know how to cook these days, but I don't know too many women who don't know how to cook. I know it is some, but I feel like for the most part, the majority of women know how to be women and know how to cook, because that's just how we were like conditioned and raised, as we're supposed to know these things in order to be good wives or slaves. You know, we're supposed to know these things. Men don't have to know these things. Women are trained to do these things. So I don't know. It could be me, maybe just me.
You know what some of this stuff is, ladies, that y'all going through with the man? And you don't want to admit it. And I'm here to help you admit it. You're not compatible with him. Compatibility is key to a successful relationship. They could be fine, they could talk good, got everything going, but you're not compatible. You know what compatible means? To be able to exist with one another without conflict. And I'm gonna add a word, constant conflict. If you are in constant conflict with the person that you're seeing early off, run. It's red flags. You got to be compatible. It should be good when it starts. And if you're in constant conflict with somebody all the time, just about where we're going to eat and just little stuff, you're not compatible. Do's and don'ts of dating.
Okay, so my opinion on this is just that a lot of the times when we get in these relationships, it's just sex. And so y'all think that y'all are compatible because you're not doing anything but like having sex and eating. And the conversations are really just surface level. So, and then it's like that sometimes until you get married. And then you don't realize I have nothing in common with this person. Like, a lot of the times in these relationships, women want to get married like after a year or two. And the men are just still like, it's just sex for them for the first year or 2 or 5. And women like want to get married. When women get into relationships, they're thinking about, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to do what the patriarchy has told me and taught me that I'm supposed to do. And men are just like in their natural state of mind and like, I just want to have sex with her and with her and with her and with her. And women are just daydreaming about their Prince Charming and all of the stuff that's going to happen in the next 10, 15, 20 years with them. And men are just like, no, like, I just want to go to Donna's house. I'm sick of looking at her. Like, this, y'all, I'm sorry, but this is how it goes. We get into these relationships and men most of the time go in with one thought. She's going to cook for me. She's going to clean for me. She's going to come over my house and have sex with me if I have a house. If not, she's going to come over my mama's house, and my mama is a mammy, so she'll let us live in her house and have sex. And just this is how men think. And women are just like so delusional that our mind is on a whole total different track. That's why I'm saying that's why I don't think we're compatible, because women want it all and men just want sex and what you can do for them. Like, women want the fairy tale that we've been taught that we can have, that was a lie, and men are just still stuck in their, like, at the bottom in their real raw nature. Like, I got to get as many women as I can before they really find out that we're not compatible. I think men know that they're not compatible with most women. They know it. That's why they just go for sex. Like right off the bat, they just go for sex. They know that women want more out of life than what they do. They know that women are supposed to be smarter than them. Usually some of us are, but lately a lot of us have not been when it comes to men. But I think they know us better than we know them, and that's why they're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna get sex from as many as I can before they find out who I am and break up with me. But it really doesn't matter because I still have like 3 more women over here. So in 2025, we are learning to do better, ladies.
Women are no longer dating men. Now guys, I know there's a lot of hate towards women as well as men. It seems like our society almost wants us to be against each other, and that's all part of the plot. So number 1, wake up and realize that we are not enemies. We can work beautifully together, but in order for this to happen, we first must correct our natural roles. Now personally, I'm not concerned with fixing women's roles of femininity. I like to fix the source, men becoming masculine. Why is this? Because when men become masculine, women by default naturally will submit to their feminine
breaks. Women are not naturally submissive to men. If you watch nature, which is natural, the females do not submit to men. The only time that the males get the females is when they compete with other males and they conquer other males, and they are the best. They can protect and help the females. They can provide something that the females can use. Like, female bees will kick the males out. All kind of females in nature will just bite the heads off of the males after they reproduce, because they don't find them to be useful. Like, so males in nature are not really useful to the females in nature, just as they are not useful in the humans in humans. Like, in humans, males are not really useful to women or, females, because now we can have our own jobs. The only reason women want men is for sex, and a lot of women are even complaining about that. And that's why men are trying to take away our rights again, because they don't feel useful. This coming up year, you will see that men are going to be trying to take away the rights of women in any way they can, because they want to feel useful. And that is the same thing that all males in nature do to females, insect, animals. Y'all can go back and look at my video that I made. I'll put it right here. Y'all can go back and look at this video. A lot of females in nature do not submit to the males. And I don't think the human females should be any different. And that's why we're clashing because human females are going this way, the males are trying to go that way, and we're still trying to have relationships, and it's just not working. So we as women need to look at what's going on in nature. I don't care what the men do, but as women in 2025, we need to look at what's going on in nature with the females versus the males. And the males in nature don't easily have access to women because they have to prove themselves. The human males, they rarely have to prove themselves. They just have to look decent. And sometimes they don't even have to look decent. And I would say they would have to have money. But a lot of the times in the Black community, they don't even have to have money. They can be ugly and they can be broke. And Black women will procreate with them, will keep having sex with them, will take care of them. In 2025, I'm praying that this will come to a complete halt. I'm not even going to say slow down. I hope it will stop. But yeah, we as women, we're not supposed to submit. Black women especially, do y'all not realize that we are the highest educated demographic in the United States? We're educated in every area, but when it comes to men. So I'm going to need y'all this year to get educated on the male and female species and stop just giving away your box. Stop giving away your time and your power to males that do not deserve it. They really don't. They have to compete with other males to deserve to procreate with you, to carry on their lineage. I know they always say that they need to carry on their seed. They'll drop their seed off and leave you to struggle. Stop doing that. It's not supposed to be like that. Start getting along with other women this year. And so y'all can help each other. Start liking women. I don't know how, but try your best.
Feminine frame, not the other way around. The only reason women have now stepped up to the plate is simply because men have fallen. If we want to fix this order, it is up to us as men to first rise up. This is why all of my content is geared specifically towards men. If you disagree with me, you are part of this degeneracy. We stay moving forward. You're either with us or you're not.
Opposites do not attract. Now there is scientific data to back that up. As a certified dating and relationship coach, I'm always shifting through data and the latest study in evolution and human behavior analyze how students rated physical looks. The results found that people rated others who looked like them more attractive. But
pause right here. I just had to say that Black males and younger Black females will always rate people who don't look like them more attractive. We saw this with the little girls in the little baby doll test. The little Black girls rated the white baby dolls to be safer, to look better. And Black males as adults, they do not like the way they look. So they do not rate Black women to be more attractive than other women. We see it online all the time. We see them talking loud. And for the ones who say this is not true, we don't hear your voices. We don't see you online. We see the males in the Black community who say that Black women are the least desirable. They're right in there with other races of men who say that Black women are the least desirable. That's what Black men are saying online. So if you disagree with me, go kick rocks. I'm going off of what I am seeing daily.
But here's the twist. Even though science shows us opposites don't attract when it comes to your physical looks, your soulmate might be your opposite when it comes to personality. It really comes down to balancing out one another and how those personalities can create a meaningful connection together. Keep this in mind when you are mindlessly swiping. Try to give someone a chance who you wouldn't normally.
This woman is delusional. Y'all need to stop giving so many men a chance because it's not working out, obviously. I don't agree with her. Just stop. It's 2025. Y'all know that most women have given ugly men a chance at least once or twice. And most women have given men chances when they don't even have the same views. So just stop. It's 2025.
One of the things that really kills a relationship, I do not like the term opposites attract. That shit is a bad way to go about finding a partner.
That shit cool.
If you get somebody opposite of you, you're eventually gonna suffer, or somebody's gonna suffer in that relationship
because you don't like it.
You really need to find somebody that
just like you,
but complement your weaknesses.
Yep,
that makes sense.
Because once you find somebody just like you, y'all have a better chance of actually. Even if y'all toxic together, this is why these toxic relationships last so long. Hold on, this is why they last so long, because they just like each other.
That's true.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I can't even knock that part.
Shouldn't date nobody opposite of you. If you are a giver, you need to date a giver.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
a taker has no limits.
Nope, they're gonna keep on taking. You gonna be hurt. You gonna be just giving, and they gonna never get to you.
If you're a taker, you don't even need to be in a relationship.
Damn.
No. A taker.
If you are a taker, you don't need to be in a relationship. If you're a taker, you don't need to be in a relationship. Because when you take you constantly take, you're draining your partner. It's okay to receive stuff and be happy about it. But if you're a fucking taker, you shouldn't be dating.
I think we gotta take.
And if you
we really need to redefine the cliche opposites attract. Attract, sure, but if you're looking for a relationship, you should not be with your opposite. I'm not suggesting that your partner needs to be your carbon copy, but the closer they are to you, the better your relationship will be. I don't want to be with a nature guy. I don't want to go camping. I don't want to pee in the woods. I also like intellectual pursuits. I like going to museums. I like discussing grand topics. I like reading books. So I would want to be with someone who I can talk to that about. I have been with guys whose political beliefs differed from mine, and it was literally terrible. Every conversation was so contentious to the extent that I literally lost feelings for him. Like, I don't want to debate someone I'm dating. Consider this. There's like billions of people in the world. If you want to do something, if you want to live a certain way, wouldn't it just be easier to find someone who also wants the same things as you instead of settling and compromising with someone who doesn't? You can find someone who shares your sense of humor, communicates the way you do, and has the same life aspirations as you. It may take a little longer to find this person, but you shouldn't settle. The person you're in a relationship is literally called your partner for a reason. You're on the same team. You should be on the same page. So yeah, maybe opposites attract sexually, but if you're looking for a relationship and long-term compatibility, an opposite will disappoint you.
So if most women thought like this woman right here, most women would not be in relationships because most men are not going to want to do these things. It would be very hard for a woman to find a man that wants to do the same things that she does. So most women would be really, really picky about what men they chose to deal with. And most men would be just shit out of luck. And I feel like if you're going to deal with men, that's the way you're going to have to be if you still choose to deal with them. For those who don't want to deal with them, you don't have to worry about this. But for the women who want to deal with them, you're going to have to be really, really picky and alone most of the time until you find what this woman is talking about.
Proven in psychology that the idea that opposites attract has been proven to not be true. It turns out that the more that you have in common with the person, the more successful the relationship will be. There's little things that might work, like an introvert and an extrovert can work. But when it comes to very important things, opposites do not attract. You want to have in common with that person. And humans are not like magnets. Opposites only attract if you're a magnet. Then opposites attract. With humans, the more opposite you are psychologically, the more that you will not attract to each other. It might work in the honeymoon phase, in the beginning, when you're very heated in the relationship. But if you want something long-term and successful, opposites will not attract.
So, ladies, that is all I have for you. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is why you have been in 20 relationships since you were 15 with men, because y'all are oil and water. Y'all are complete opposites. And because we are in a patriarchy, men and women are not thinking the same. We are programmed to think differently and to want different stuff. Women are programmed to desire men for certain things, and men are essentially programmed to not give us the things that we desire. They're programmed to not help us. They're programmed to just be lazy, to not cook, to not do anything. But they tried to program us to do all those things, but now we're just tired and it didn't work because it's not natural. I'm sorry, y'all. For those who just found this channel and you want to be in a relationship, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to put up with a lot if you want to be in a relationship. Yeah, until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you will find a way to get out of it. My best advice for y'all this year is to try to form relationships with women who think like you, who think like me. If you're following this channel, that's going to be very difficult because most women have been programmed to serve men and to do whatever it takes to get a man and to keep a man and to please a man, to shoot out kids for a man, all of the things that are detrimental to us. So it's going to be very hard. You may have to be alone for a while by yourself and just keep learning and keep watching videos from people like me. If you've made it this far, please help me get to 2K subscribers by hitting the subscribe button. And let's get in the comments and let's chop it up and let me know what you think about this video. And I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.